Hello, Jamf Nation. I'm JJ.
And I'm Jennifer. We're with Carousel Digital Signage. Hey, JJ, it sure would be nice if we could present together.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. But since we can't, we'll just have to use some fancy editing tricks to get the job done instead.
In this lab, we're going to share why the combination of Carousel, Jamf, and Apple TV has the ability to change the way we think about visual communication and collaboration.
At Carousel, our mission is to help organizations create spaces where people feel welcomed, informed, and connected by using digital signage. Historically, this has meant putting signage displays into areas like entryways, break rooms, and common areas. Now, however, Apple TV has unlocked the potential to put signage in so many more places, allowing you to truly transform your space.
But before we explore this more, let's dive into how a digital signage system works. There are two basic parts to a digital signage system. The content management software that lets you create and manage the content that you see on your screens, and a media player, which is the hardware device that displays your content on a screen.
At Carousel, we focus on making the best content management software. And we use third-party media players to show your content. So obviously, we have some pretty strong opinions about media players.
Let's talk about why we prefer Apple TV as the best media player above everything else we've seen. Way back in the olden days, media players were often just simple Windows PCs. And they got the job done. However, they came with some serious drawbacks. Primarily, this was because they were designed to be general-purpose computers and not the best media players. This meant that occasionally you might see things on your screens like the Windows desktop or perhaps a stray window update notification. This doesn't build a ton of confidence with your audience. And on top of that, Windows-based players were often among the most expensive media players out there, which can put limits on your deployment options.
Later on, a new breed of purpose-built media players arrived on the scene. And because they were purpose-built, they often made for a much better digital signage experience than the Windows PCs did. But they came with their own set of limitations. These devices were typically built by embedded device manufacturers who used either proprietary software stacks or open source software that was heavily customized. This made them fairly hard to manage by IT departments. They were essentially unknown boxes sitting on your network with unknown security risks. All in all, it was a world of hard compromises, and as a digital signage software company, we lived in this world for years.
Until Apple TV. Apple TV is amazing because it's a dedicated media player. It has a modern, secure, and supported OS, and is completely manageable by the tools that IT teams already know and love, like Jamf. Oh, and by the way, Apple TV costs a fraction of the price of the classic media players. This is completely game-changing. So, great. But what can we do with it?
Well, let's start with deployment. The very thought of deploying dozens or hundreds or thousands of unmanageable, expensive media players sounds like a nightmare. And this is where the combination of Jamf, Apple TV, and Carousel comes to the rescue. It's all in a process we call shrink wrap to signage. This means you don't have to touch the media player at all. Well, other than taking it out of the box and plugging it in, but that's it.
You simply buy your Apple TVs using your Apple Business Manager account that's connected with Jamf Pro. While you wait for them to arrive, connect up your Jamf Pro and Carousel accounts, and then tell Jamf Pro to enroll these devices in Apple TVs as Carousel media players. With that done, as soon as they arrive, unbox them, hook them up to the network, and power them on. Within a couple of minutes, they will automatically provision themselves with all the appropriate settings, install the Carousel Signage app into single app mode, and immediately start displaying your standardized messaging and branding, all by themselves. This is shrink wrap to signage, completely managed, secure, and you can put them everywhere.
Now that we have digital signage throughout our facility, we can get even more value. Because your signage is running on an Apple TV, you can enable AirPlay connections to any of your digital signs, turning them all into instant collaboration spaces. Imagine working with your colleagues and sitting down in front of any screen in the building and instantly collaborating with AirPlay, whether it's a standard conference room, a hoteling space, a hallway, or even your front lobby. And when you're done, your displays automatically return to your standard messaging and branding.
And it gets even better. The integration between Carousel and Jamf Pro is deep. We're not done after app delivery. This integration allows Carousel to actually interrupt and override any of the active AirPlay sessions in order to display urgent messages. You know, just in case something really important is happening in the office right now. This integration allows you to deliver urgent, location-specific visual communications to your teams wherever they are in your facility. And this plays such an important role in making your entire staff feel welcome, informed, and connected in your space.
But we don't stop with just signage on the wall either. We can use Jamf to deploy lightweight player software onto iPads, iPhones, and even your Mac desktop as a screensaver, expanding the reach of your visual communication to the entire Apple ecosystem.
We're so excited about this combination of Apple, Jamf, and Carousel, and we really believe it's the best solution to extend collaboration and visual communication to all parts of your organization. For more information, come visit us at our virtual booth. Thanks.